All right. So you are beautiful, Ashley.
No?
Just wrote the new blog article on celebrities with herpes,
Yes.
and a lot of people are searching on that for celebrities with herpes for some reason. Um, what what surprised you about writing the blog article? What did you expect to find, and what did you find?
Well, I'm not even entirely sure what I expected to find, but I didn't expect it to be as negative as it seemed to be. Like, I Googled celebrities with herpes just to see what would come up. And the first thing that came up was a lot of negative. Like, Derek Jeter infects his alleged ex-girlfriend victims and that kind of language. And, uh, and celebrities getting sued for giving people herpes. And my first thought was, oh my goodness, like if the media is so negative towards celebrities with herpes, no wonder people feel so negative about it, because that's where they get a lot of their information from, just public consumption of media. And I was shocked by how negative and very stigmatizing and blaming and shaming the language in the media was,
Yeah,
as well as the blatant misinformation.
yeah.
Um, so it was sort of a shock, and I just wanted to expose it for the falseness that it was.
So you wanted to mediaize the media. So we're going to expose the media for exposing the bullshit that it's that it's exposing. Um, Another thing about the way that I see a lot of the times the media portraying herpes is kind of making fun of it too.
Yes.
Like it's the big go-to joke, right? And in any movie that you go to or whatever, it's almost tantamount to saying, yeah, that person's a slut, right? And it's you go to Vegas but you come back with herpes, right? Like everything stays in Vegas except for herpes, and it's all of those kinds of things that are supposed to be funny, but you know, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6 people in that audience in that movie theater are like, shit, I have herpes. Like, does that mean that
Does that a horrible slut who's going to die alone? Like, what does that mean?
Right? Yeah. I it's almost like herpes is the redheaded stepchild of STDs.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked by how negatively it was portrayed, and how like they were giving false science kind of information as supposed to be a helpful guide of how to manage herpes. Things like have any sexual contact for the duration of your outbreak. No kissing, no cuddling, no anything. And I was like, no, that's terrible.
Yeah. Don't be loved at all when you're having an outbreak.
I don't want you to believe that herpes makes you unlovable.
It's almost going back to our first video of saying it, almost giving the idea that we're just a walking cloud of infection, which is such bullshit. Yeah,
it's such bullshit.
So the whole idea of people searching for celebrities with herpes. I don't know that I ever went through that phase when I got herpes. I don't know. Did you? No, but
I did.
But a lot of people do, and I'm if I put myself in that position of wanting to know, well, what celebrities have herpes, I would imagine that it's something to do with, well, these are the people that I look up to. These are the people that are validated by society. They make shit tons of money, so they've got to be successful and happy.
Right.
So if they have herpes and they're successful and happy, then that somehow makes it okay that I have herpes. Is that kind of how you see it?
That is how I see it. Like, it's wanting that external validation of, oh, well, look, Mariah Carey has herpes, or Anne Heche has herpes, and they're really successful, so that must mean that I can be successful too. But I think there's another side to it as well. Like, there's this sort of vindictive side of us that's like, haha, they have herpes too. I'm not alone in my suffering. So this sort of Schadenfreude-esque
Yeah.
like wanting other people to suffer so that you feel better about yourself. Like, I think there's kind of a double-pronged desire to, like, see celebrities with herpes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it can go either way, and also it can go either way in if I'm searching for celebrities with herpes, and I'm not really even big on celebrities' names, so I'm not going to be good at coming up with celebrity names. But if there's like a celebrity who is seen as just, you know, the doll of Hollywood, and then she ends up having herpes, it's like, oh wow, well that's okay then. Wow, it's not such a big deal that I have herpes because that perfect angel has herpes. But on the other side of things, you might find someone who is known in Hollywood as being the Hollywood slut and sleeping around all the time, and that person has herpes, and then they become kind of the poster child for herpes, and then you feel bad about having herpes because you're like, oh great, now I'm like that slut in Hollywood.
Right. Or any famous person. Like, one of the articles I came across suggested that Michael Vick has been sued for having herpes and giving people herpes. And, I mean, who wants to be identified with Michael Vick? So, oh, I went there. Yeah. That hurt.
Now we're going to have to...
Sorry, Eagles fans.
Now we're going to have to go, like, you know, do horrible things to animals because we have herpes.
Right. Like, what does that make us?
It's really unfortunate.
It is. It's so interesting the way these associations work in our brains. And it all, I think, is sort of, like, from a meta perspective, a result of the information that we're fed every day by the media. And it's not just about herpes. It's about body image. It's about what to eat, what to drink, what to wear. But herpes, I think, seems to be the most stigmatized of all of the things that the media takes a position on.
Totally, yeah. This really sheds some light on just the overall idea of all the different perspectives that we could look at ourselves from.
Yeah.
Right? So the whole external validation piece is like, oh, am I choosing to see myself from the perspective of media?
Right.
Or am I choosing to look at myself from my own perspective? Or from the perspective of people who really deeply care about me and really, really know me on a deep level? There are many different perspectives that we could start looking at ourselves from. And the fact that the media perspective seems to be the most prevalent when we're actually believing the stigma.
Yes.
That's sad. That's sad. It's almost saying that that the media knows me more than I know me.
Right. And, like, let's be honest, the media does not have your best interests at heart. So by giving credence to what the media says and the way that it makes you feel, you're giving the media power. And that's taking power away from you. Yes. So it's definitely like a cyclical and rather a kind of vicious cycle at that.
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned in the article on the celebrities with herpes, the whole victim-y kind of language. That if I have herpes and someone else doesn't, then I'm the victimizer, and that's my potential victim. Right. And we can become victims of the media, but the only way that we do that is to actually believe the media's hype, right?
Yes.
So it's by very default, it's ourselves saying, okay, media, you know me better than I do. You know herpes better than I do. I'm going to believe you, is basically what that's saying.
And exactly. And so my goal with the article was to say, you know what? The media is not all knowing. Because, first of all, we don't know that any of these celebrities actually have herpes, other than Anne Heche, who was the one that came out and said, yes, I do. Every single other person was either, it was hearsay, or it was a staff member that saw them buying Valtrex, or it was some kind of rumor.
Yeah. And
we all know how rumors in Hollywood work.
Oof, the rumor mill, yeah.
Yeah, ooh, bad stuff. There was a real, like, sense of gossip associated with it, and, like, ooh, guess who has herpes? Like, hottest celebrities with herpes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It made it into this sort of salacious story by linking a famous face with this horrible disease, which I think an article actually used that specific phrase, and I was horrified by that phrase because it's not.
It's not a horrible disease.
Just wanted to scream at the writer and the people that were posting these on these websites that, like, it's not that bad.
I could see you now actually yelling at your computer screen. No! Please, no! Back up from the keyboard. Yeah. Yeah. See, there's so much to say here. Right? I know we want to make this a shorter video, but I think a good way to wrap this one up is to actually even take a step back from the celebrities with herpes and everything, and just look at and the whole rumor thing, right? Because I hear that a lot on the forums. Even though on the Herpes Opportunity forums, you don't have to put a picture up there. You can put up an alias name. There's no way that people can really find out who you are unless you say who you are. But still, people are so scared to even anonymously post. I mean, some people, because they're afraid that they're going to be found out. They're afraid that there's going to be rumors flying around that they have herpes.
Right. So
to even zoom out even more and say, wow, so you and we're putting this video on YouTube. Right?
Yes, we are.
Someone might find this video, and then there could be rumors going around that you and I have herpes, which we do. Are we admitting to that? Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Uh-oh.
They found out. How did they find out that we had herpes?
I don't know. We need to stop putting these videos on YouTube. Yeah. But then that begs the question, well, why does it not bother us, right? There's that distinction between, okay, so if someone were to start a vicious rumor that Adrial has herpes, and it got back to me, I would say, yeah, I do. What are you making that mean?
Right.
Right? So
right. What's the subtext of having herpes that, like, wow, Adrial has a really annoying skin condition that affects him, like, maybe a few times a year. That sucks? Or that means he's a slut? Or, like, what's the implication of people, like, starting these rumors about people having herpes?
Yeah. So, not saying that you and I are celebrities yet.
Not yet.
But,
time.
But if it starts getting around the internet that we have herpes, so be it. That's actually a positive thing, because we're attaching a new paradigm to what it means to have herpes, which it doesn't define us. It's actually who we are is more important than what we have. Don't attach my identity to a insignificant virus, please. Please don't do that. And if you will, then that probably says more about you and how you see the world than the people that you happen to be talking about,
Absolutely. And, I mean, there would not be a rumor mill for celebrities with the flu. And the flu is a virus, just like herpes.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect your genitals, but it makes you feel pretty lousy. And It's not like, oh my God, Scarlett Johansson has the flu. Like... Or
chicken pox. Oh my God!
Chicken pox.
We had
strain. Like,
yeah, and
so it's so funny that we zoom in on something that affects genitals, and then all of a sudden it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
So that sort of speaks to the larger, like, sex negative culture, that anything that has to do with sexuality is dirty and shameful and should be kept secret.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's people, like, watching videos, even our videos maybe, going, I cannot believe that these people are talking about having herpes like it's okay.
Right.
And my response to that is, well, it is.
It is.
We love you anyway.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day the light of compassion will shine into your soul.
Well, gosh, I love you. Yes. That actually, it just has me wanting to offer up to the people out there that might be still in the depth of shame and stigma around this. You know, yeah, we're having a fun time talking about herpes, but I remember a time in my life that when I was watching a video like this, I might be like, wow, they just don't get it, right? And the offering is that regardless of whether it's herpes or whatever is in your life that seems like a wall, or that seems like something that's blocking you from getting what you want or living the life that you deserve, that it's actually a perspective that you are taking on. So if you're sitting there watching this video and you're saying, oh my God, how could they be laughing about this? How could they be having a good time about this? Notice that there are just two different perspectives going on. There's your perspective of, yeah, herpes is horrible and it's nothing to laugh about and it's sad and it's the end of my sex life. And then our perspective of, hey, it's not a big deal. So I'm not saying that one perspective is right and another is wrong, but just saying that there are tons of perspectives out there that you get to choose from in being the arbiter of your life.
Yes, I like that, the arbiter of your life.
Totally. You get to steer the ship on how you're seeing your life and what you have in your life. So, wow. Yes, I like that. I thought that was more Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but
forget Rock'em Sock'em Robot, or like, you know, driving the car, getting in the driver's seat of your life.
I love it.
Like this.
Oh yeah, that's the drop top caddy.
Yeah, totally.
I like
That's
that.
really for my car for life.
The hoopty. Awesome. Well, we'll end it there. I love it. That's a great point to end on. All right. Until next time.
Until next time.